friends, Pam Vinny here, and I thought I'd continue part 2 of the Woodland Fairy Journal, and I decided I'll just do the signature too, sew that in. I've got all my papers picked out, and then now it's a 3-hole signature. So I'm going to put in my holes, and let's see, I think I'll start here. And when it's thick like this and you really can't see where the hole is, I'll kind of keep the awl in here. I also like to put some washi tape down here to hold the end of the embroidery thread. That's what I usually use. And then now, let's see, I'm going to try to sit down here. I will place the needle where, kind of close to where it is, so I know where it's going. And then we're going to come back out. Make sure you don't catch the wings. And then we're going to go about, let's see, I think we're going to go right about here. Push that through. Okay. And let's get my needle. And I know it's going to be about here, hopefully. Right there. And we'll pull that through. Okay, let me just adjust this here because it's catching on the wings. I'll just put it down here. That's the end of the embroidery thread, so it doesn't get pulled, so it doesn't pull through. Well, that's the end. And we're going to make another hole about the same distance there. Just about there. And I'm going to put that, well, I can see the hole here, but on the other side you can't. So we'll put that through. And now we're going to go back here. And then you want to come up through here. Like so. And now, let's see where we're at here. Take this off. I didn't leave quite as much. Usually I have more thread. Usually you do 3 lengths, so I don't know that I'll have that much to hang charms on, but I can put them other places, charms. So now you want 1 thread on the other side of the, one on each side of this main thread. There's one there, and we have the other one here. So this thread here, you want one on this side and one on the other. And I glued this down before I sewed the signature in. Just the body of the butterfly. It's just on the middle, and I creased it. Good. It's the first time I didn't have very long of a thread. Usually they're super long, but that's okay. So that should be it. Oh no. What did I do? Okay. Looks like I tore that, but that's all right. Okay, now looks like we have our one signature sewn in. It's called a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And oh no, I know what I forgot. I was going to put the pocket all the way across, but we can still add the pocket. The pocket's right here. And so next we're going to start embellishing, and like I said, I'll put the finishing touches, the cover last. So now we will see how this turns into this. A little chunky. My husband thinks they're too chunky, but I like them. I like them chunky. So, yes, this is what we're working on. The Woodland Fairy journal. So we'll see what the next steps are. I'll just kind of go through like the pages that I have quickly. What we're working with. So if you're curious, and then what I did sew, I sewed that. I sewed before I sewed the pages in. I sewed this on. I mean, you could always hot glue that later if you didn't want to sew it first. This is what we got so far. So if you're just curious of what the order looks like. I sewed a little here. I'll also just glue that. And this was that envelope here. Sewed this on here. And sewed that on. So now we can start embellishing. Okay, I think what we'll do now is, like I said before, we'll put our pockets in, and I just took a part of a curtain, and I'm going to take, go down the middle here, about 2 of these. Actually, this green chiffon might be pretty somewhere too. I don't know if this is gonna tear. And I've got my hot glue gun on. Yeah, there we go. So then the other one didn't have this here, but I like that. We're going to even this up a little bit, and I'm just going to hot glue it here. Let's make sure we got the right side. So I'm going to do that here, you know, here, the 3 sides. We can trim up that later, and then I'm going to do the other side. I'm going to add a pocket the same way here. Okay, I'm working on the back here. I put this in first here, and then we'll just hot glue it here and here. Or, you know, you could have sewn it too. Whatever works for you. Maybe that should have been a little farther down. And you have glue all over you. Trying to get all the little glue globs off. Okay. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Okay, so we have that, and then the next thing we're going to make this envelope, and then this is a digital from TLC Creates. I did a little decorative stitching, and I sewed some fibers to the top of this. So it's TLC Creates. And then I'll show you how I did this envelope here. Let me get my materials and be back. Okay, so this is the next thing we're going to work on. So get your envelope. The one I have here is a craft one. That's the only one I could find that was about this size. And then coffee dye doily, maybe a label, a little doily, some fabric to cover it with. So let's start with that. And I am going to decide if I want to sew it. Yeah, I think I'm going to sew it this way. So I'll glue some of it down, and then I am going to sew over the top. It'll just make the envelope inside just a tiny bit smaller, but not by much. And then before we do that, let's get our doily. Rip it so that we can glue it like so. And this is the inside of our envelope. And then I'm going to glue it like this. Okay, and then we're just gonna glue that about like that. And then we'll be stitching over this when we do the other side. Struggling just a little bit today. I don't know. Well, I grew up in the 70s and 80s where we baked our skin, you know, with baby oil, and so now I'm kind of suffering the consequences. And so I have a actinic keratosis, which is a like a precancerous cells, and so I'm having to put on this chemotherapy cream. It's just not fun. I've done it before, and you know, I do it in the winter so I can hole up so nobody sees my face, but it is very painful, and can't wait till it's over with. But it's better than getting skin cancer, so wear your sunscreen, and it just makes your face, the cream what you put on, makes it red and blistery, and then when it starts healing, extremely itchy. Yeah, whoops, not fun. So yes, that was the generation where you cooked your skin. Not a good idea. I'll tear this off later. I'm going to now sew my fabric like so. I'll cut around it. Just cut, you know, cut here around the envelope. But I think I'm just going to glue a little bit here for it to hold somewhat. And sew it on. Let's see. I want to get most of the design in. I think that's pretty good. Okay, and then I'm going to sew with a zigzag around here, and I will return. I also wanted to let you know I used some, and I think I put it in my last video, that I used some of the digis from Musings by Nikki, the Naturalist, field note cards and other things. So if you're interested, look at my last video, and also from Victoria Designs. I use some things. This is TLC Creates. I think this is what I'm going to put in my journal. This journal, back of coffee dye paper, might around the corner. So that's that. And also, if you want to get a file folder and back this and cut it out, if you want to use that as a, you know, writing board. So you can do that too if you're interested in that. Okay, I sewed around here on the outside. Well, actually I sewed this way so I could see the edges. And now we can cut that away like so. Just start cutting all the way around, and you can leave a little bit of an edge to it, raggedy edge. And then once I do that, then I'm going to hot glue this on, and then just use a little piece of fabric to make a little bow. So that's what we'll have there. I trimmed my fabric around like this, and then I'm going to come back and glue down the doily edges. So I'll come back and do that, and then now we're going to place our doily where we like it. I'm going to have some of it hanging off. Which is the right way? I think this is. So I will just use my hot glue gun here. Place that down. Get your little whatever fabric strip you want, and then I'm just going to tie it in a bow. And then we will find a place to put it. Let's see, I think I had it on this side before, but we'll see. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like it like that. So we're gonna make sure you don't glue to that envelope. Make sure you just glue it to your doily piece. Okay, so then we have that done, and that will go in our pocket. So here's what we have. It's cute because it has a little lace here. Got your doily, your paper doily, your fabric bow, and then a little label. And here is your other side. And then you can ink it if you want. And then I just have the stitching here. So that'll go hopefully in the pocket. Uh-oh. Maybe this one's too big. Well, looks like that might have to be in a different pocket. Might be because I have this added to it, but I don't want to cut that off. Well, maybe this will have to go someplace else. Not a big deal. So we'll put our this journal belongs to in here. And then I'll put something else in here. The next thing you might want to do is if you had some of this bark looking roll, that's where this pocket's going to go right here. So we'll just cut that off. And we're going to hot glue that right here. So I think I brought a little bit over to the other side too. So I'll just make it a little bigger. I don't want to use the scissors. I'll just bring a little bit over. And what side should we use? Maybe we'll go this way. I'll bring that around. and leave this little tail out. And we're going to glue this here with our hot glue. I like to put something under here so it doesn't stick to the other pages. I want to leave just a tiny little space there so when you fold it, it does not interfere with the folding. So let's see how much we can get done here. I think that's pretty good. And then we're going to bring this here. Like so. I'm going to bring this up just a little, and then I'm going to fold that out like that. And glue it down. Like that. Let's see how many minutes we have. And probably going to add a charm here, so I'll just fold that like that. And let me check the time. Okay, the next elements I'm going to use is one of these, you can use any envelope, but a little envelope. And then I just added some little digital cards. And this is the, like a little seed packet. I was gifted this. I think you could get them at Target at one point. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to make something like that. So you just get, you know, one of your little images from somewhere. And then I'm going to, and then also we're going to make a little, just sew around a little fairy thing. I think this is AVG. What is that? Digital. If I can remember, I'll put it in the link. Backed it on some coffee paper, stitched around, added fibers and seam tape. And then I got a bingo card that I'm going to stamp. So those are 3 things you might want to get together. Oops. And we're just going to, you know, this you can just back and then, you know, put your little enforcers there and stitch around, and then that will be ready to go there. Here we're going to just ink around, and sometimes it's fun to just rough up the edges with one of these Tim Holtz, I don't even know what they're called, but it just gives another texture. And you can do this with a pair of scissors too. Okay, and then I'm going to just get a piece of this. It's like a handmade paper with fibers in it. I'm just going to rip a bit off. Like that, and then we'll have that behind us here. There's more fibers there, but I want it to go this way. And then just going to glue that. Glue that on. Maybe scrunch it up a little bit. I might add a little hot glue just to give it a little more dimension. Yes, I'm the whimsical crafter, right? You can tell by the way I craft. I think that's what I should name my channel. The Whimsical Crafter. But it usually works out, so I'm happy with it. So you have that, and then you can just add, you know, whatever little, you know, cards you might have, digitals, into this envelope. And that is going to be this pocket, in this pocket here with the birch. And then we'll take a, if you have a bingo card, we'll take that, and then you can just stamp on the back of that like that, you know, a cute little, I mean, you could do a mushroom, you could do, you know, a fairy. And I'm going to use this, one of these little cute stamps that are penny black, Fairy Sweet. So I think that'll be it for now. We'll just do our little bingo card here. And that'll be it for today. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.